A first reaction to Light My Fire by The Doors. So as I listen to this band's music more and more, I feel as if the name The Doors is a very apt name for the band, as their music certainly opens up the doors to their listeners' mind, or even the doors into this sort of psychedelic or cinematic world that they create with each of their songs. They have this very unique jam or improv style to a lot of their music that they create, which I think highlights a lot of the strengths of the band. So this track is one of their most famous songs, and it comes from their album, their self-titled album released in 1967. I'm very interested to hear this song because I've liked all of what I've heard from The Doors so far. So let's get into the music. Okay, here we go with the reaction. This is Light My Fire. I've also got the lyrics to help me follow along too.
That it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through.
Wow.
No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there because it looks like we have a little bit of an instrumental break going on. So if we get into the lyrics a little bit, again, fantastic writing from Jim Morrison. He has this very poetic, almost ambiguous style to the way he writes his lyrics. Now, it would seem to me this is from the perspective of a person who feels as if like they're incomplete without this other person, this female companion of theirs, perhaps a muse of Jim Morrison. I know that a lot of artists sort of live and die by their muses. You think of Salvador Dali with, I think the lady's name was Amanda Lear. A lot of artists tend to do that. Kanye West is quite famous as a recent artist who does it a lot. So this is like someone who's kind of reaching out to their muse, who seems to be a bit of a double-edged sword to them because he's longing for them. Come on, baby, light my fire. This person to sort of ignite them. But at the same time, they don't seem to be very good for each other. The time to hesitate is through. Now, time to wallow in the mire. So like to be stuck in a really bad situation. Try now, we can only lose. Like it's only going down, and our love becomes a funeral pyre. So like it's going to burn into ashes. Like, wow, this is a very, very, again, very unique perspective that Morrison writes from. He's writing from in Riders on the Storm from the perspective of a hitchhiking serial killer. You know, he writes from the perspective of a metaphor in LA Woman, like LA representing a metaphor of a woman. Very fantastic writing. And Ray Manzarek, who is always doing a great job on the keys, a real star in the instrumental, is always Ray Manzarek on the keys. So brilliant stuff. Let's get into this instrumental break, it looks like. Back it up a little bit. Let's go. Oh. He is killing those keys. Okay, I'm gonna pause it there really quickly. I love when a record executes on a concept, right? And it's okay, we're speaking about muses earlier. It's as if they've used Morrison's feelings towards this girl or his muse as a muse for the way that they're playing, right? It's sort of igniting a fire right now. It's heating up stronger and stronger. At the beginning, it almost sounded like a fairground keys. You know, the keys sounded like what you'd hear at a fairground almost. And it's sort of getting more intense as we go along. And it's got this dark undertone to the whole thing. Brilliant stuff, man. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Drum fills. Bobby Krieger. Okay.
The time to hesitate.
Wow. Wow. That instrumental breakdown was a journey in itself. That was brilliant, man. That was brilliant. Ray Manzarek and Bobby Krieger. The two, I think, most important sort of musical parts to the band. I mean, I always say Ray Manzarek is the star of the show in terms of the instrumentation, but Bobby Krieger, who's the guitarist, did a brilliant job there. Now, talk about staying to the concept. What I thought was really cool there is as if they turned the music into almost like a battle. You know, we were speaking about the idea of a double-edged sword in the earlier part of the track, right? They executed on this idea, this sort of battling theme that happened. The idea that your muse, which inspires you, can burn you at the same time. And this kind of tragic relationship that Jim is sort of describing here, this tragic nature of this relationship with this person who ignites him, but is at the same time his downfall. Dope concept. That's what we love to see. Fantastic concept. Let's keep this going.
The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Yeah. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher.
This track has all the signatures of the Doors, right? All the signatures. This sort of enigmatic figure who's the front man with these poetic lyrics, fantastic instrumentation, with the keys being sort of the star of the show. Now, as I was listening to the lyrics and really the music, which made me sort of think this, I look back to like LA Woman, where he used a woman as a metaphor for LA. I think he's doing the same thing here, right? This song's up to anyone's interpretation. That's how music is, and certainly how Jim Morrison writes his lyrics. But if you ask me, he's talking to the drug. The girl is the drug. That's what I got out of it. I mean, you take certain lines like, "Girl, we couldn't get much higher." He's telling the drug, like, we're going deep here. Like think about this bit here where he says, yeah, try now, we can only lose, and our love becomes a funeral pyre. Right? He's definitely, to me, speaking to the drug, right? Because, I mean, if you know about Morrison's eventual death or his addictions to drugs and alcohol, this is what happens to him. His love, his muse, which drugs can often be a muse for creative artists and lead to creative breakthroughs, but at the same time, it is that double-edged sword. It is that thing that also brings them down. It becomes their funeral pyre. Think of Jimi Hendrix, you think of Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison. Fantastic way of writing, man. This double-edged meaning, double-edged sword that he's writing about. Great lyricism. Really impressed with this one, man. Again, the Doors, they open up the doors to this cinematic, psychedelic world that they create each time with their music. Fantastic track, man. I feel like this is like almost like the signature to, if I was about to introduce the Doors to someone, I might say, listen to Light My Fire. I think this is probably the closest to what the Doors are all about. So a fantastic track, man. 2 thumbs up.